If you wait for permission, you're never gonna get it. If you wait till you're good enough, you're never gonna start. If you wait for that perfect moment, it's never going to come. Now is your moment. If you want that thing, you need to step into that person before you're ready and do it now. I know you've probably seen so many videos prior to this, tomorrow is never guaranteed, live like it's your last day, blah, blah, blah. And while we all believe that, and we know that life is fragile, and we know that our physical bodies can be gone any minute, but are we actually living in that manner? And that's what this video is all about today, is are we truly living? Are we living for other people? Are we living to please others? Are we living to hold up to an expectation that you were raised with, to become a doctor? Who and what are you living for? Because for me, I wasn't living for me. I wasn't. I was in the corporate world for a long time, waking up miserable every day. And every day I said, there's more for me out there. There's more. But I got so bogged down in what I was supposed to be doing, how I was supposed to be living, and who I was supposed to please. And why aren't you grateful for this amazing paycheck, for this amazing insurance, for this amazing 401k? Why aren't you grateful? And being told by others, you don't have to love what you do. You just go to work, come home, and then you love your life. You don't have to love your life during the day. And that is the most insane advice that I actually believed for a long time. And I'm here to tell you that you don't need to live like that. And you can make a change now. What is it that you want to do? I want you to get super duper clear. And for me, I researched so much on this topic. It's like, who am I really? Because everyone would tell me, well, you're so good at this. And I was in executive sales. I was in corporate sales. And I'm a people person. I was good at that. But just because you're good at something doesn't mean you should continue doing it. Yes, I'm a people person, but I'm not here to sell things I don't like. I'm not here to work for someone and have this loyalty to a company when they can get rid of me in a second. But I'm sitting here for years and years debating how to quit and feeling bad. That's wild. And what I did for the longest time was I would research. How do I figure out who I am and what I want? I think I listened to pretty much every TED Talk on this subject. There were a lot of writing exercises. And I think some of the biggest questions that really resonated with me that I think you should ask yourself is, number one is, what would you do for free? What would you do if no one was paying you to do it? What would you do for fun? What do you currently do as a hobby? And people would tell me all the time, well, you can't just do your hobbies as your career. That's not gonna work. Again, you don't have to love what you do for a living. I completely disagree with that. I really do. And I know we are put in certain situations where you can't quit. You have a family to raise. You have food to put on the table. You need that income. And I completely understand that. And that's why it took me from 2017 to 2021 to actually quit my job. And I did so much work on myself in those years. And if you haven't already watched my video on drawing your future, please do, because I talk a lot about that and limiting beliefs. But I'm here to tell you that you can change your circumstances. You can make money doing what you love. And you don't need to be 100% ready to step into that role. You just need to start. So number one is, what would you do for free and for fun? Think about that. Number 2 is, who do you want to serve? Who do you care about? Do you have an interest in working with kids, with high school students? Do you have an interest in working with college students? Do you have an interest in marine biology or architecture, interior design? Do you want to work for Costco? Follow what interests you. Follow what excites you, what makes you come alive. And think about, who do you want to serve? How do you want to serve? What does that look like for you? Does that involve working with your church, with your community, with the city you live in? Talk to people, because people will open your eyes to things you had no idea about. And you know that line, you don't know what you don't know. You really don't know. And that's a big thing, is getting beyond the limits in here and chatting with others and really expanding your consciousness. So like I've said in some of my other videos, your mind is right here. And think about it as it's within this sphere. This is your mind, your consciousness. And everything you've ever wanted is just right outside here, this little dot right here. And if you can just open and expand and just get out and see this little dot, it's beyond magical. And you can do this. And I talk a lot about this in my limiting beliefs videos. But anyway, back to doing what you want to do with your life. What would you do for free? What would you do for fun? Who do you want to serve? How do you want to serve? And the last question I have, and it goes back to Wayne Dyer's quote. He has always said, don't die with your music still in you. If you were to die tomorrow, I know that that's morbid and not the best thought, but if you were to die tomorrow, what is that music inside you that you didn't let out? What is that? Because we all know what that is. We all know that we have this thing that is just exploding out of us. If you can't hear that music, I need you to get quiet. I have many other videos on this, but I need you to get quiet and connect with your higher self. Because right now you're being bogged down by everyone else. It is not normal to be on social media nonstop and to see everyone else's lives. And that is why you might not know what you want, because you're constantly being bombarded by everyone else's lives. How can you know? How can you listen to the whispers if you have too many inputs coming in? If you're listening to podcasts and YouTubes and everything nonstop, how will you know what your own music is that's playing in your head when you have the radio on, listening to everyone else's music? That's number 3, is what is that music inside you that is dying to get out? Literally. You know, it's taken me the longest time to really step into my confidence. And I think when you talk to most people, they would say that, you know, they never quite feel ready to do anything to this day. But you just move forward because you know those who are confident of the outcome can afford to wait and wait without anxiety. You know that it will all be okay. If you were being your authentic self and stepping into that unknown authentically, it will be okay. I promise. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. So you just have to trust that those dots will connect. And believe me, they will. And what seems like rejection, what seems like you're being pushed in a different direction, you truly are, because that is the universe, God protecting you, guiding you. I did another video on rejection, but Jamie Kern-Lima, I love this line. Whenever you have been rejected, it's the universe, God, source telling you, you weren't actually rejected. I just hid your value from them because they weren't assigned to your destiny. So remember that when you're stepping into the unknown and things feel uncomfortable and you might feel rejected, just know that you're being redirected and your value is going to be valued somewhere else. And at the end of the day, we can't take things personally. We just need to trust. We need to take that first step. You got this.